Oh, welcome to the aftermath of a class weekend of swim, bike, run. Started the weekend on 70.3 Sunshine Coast, Sunday morning, Saturday for most people back home, and then kind of finished the day watching the Norwegian hype train smash the Ironman World Champs. So in this vid it's going to be a breakdown of the race, a bit of a debrief, what went well, what didn't go so well, what I could have done better, that kind of thing. So just setting the scene down at Malula Bar on the beach. Awesome conditions to start with, really flat in the bay. So from the start I positioned myself at the front 5 to 10 rows. Probably not the best swimmer, so I didn't really want to go right at the front and just get swam over. So yeah, started a few rows back, for the sole reason of hoping to find some fast feet. There probably would still be some quicker swimmers behind me, but if I had a 30-second or a minute slower swim than them, we'd probably get out together. So hoping to look for like a faster biker that I can kind of work with on the bike. So not off to a great start, straight in with the dolphin dive, face planted the sand, got up, did another one, and then row away. But it took me a while to get into some rhythm. I was probably on feet for around 200 meters of the whole swim, so yeah, not the best controlled swim for me. Sighting was pretty good. I was pretty kind of right next to the sighting buoys all the way across, hit the turn buoys really well. Didn't kind of zigzag at all from my understanding. It's just that everyone was kind of a lot faster than me or a lot slower than me, so I couldn't kind of get that speed of someone's feet. So a bit of a mixed bag in the swim. I don't really use a watch in the swim, and you'll see why for good reason in a second. Probably a good decision. But yeah, the first K felt like super hard. The form wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. But I did start to settle in towards the back end of the course, where the turn buoy came out. But it was pretty rough when we got out to the open ocean. The bay was really flat. But yeah, about 300-400 meters in, the wake of the waves was quite high. So yeah, sighting was a little bit hard, but I found it okay. So you kind of had to time it right with the waves, because every time you look up, sometimes the wave's there, you can't see anything, and then next time you look up, you're on top of the wave, so you can literally see everything. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, so you just have to time it right. But yeah, I felt like I was in the water for absolutely ages. I thought it was a bad swim, but coming back to the point earlier, I don't wear a watch in the swim for this exact reason. If I come out, look down, and I see 31 something, usually that's quite a bad swim for me. One of the things I used to do in the swim is go out really hard, kind of settle in, and then kind of go hard again at the end when I started to see the beach. But there's actually no point in that, is there? You just kind of raise your heart rate when you get up, it just raises even more. So this time I just took it nice and easy onto the beach, didn't kind of put in any surge or didn't kind of slow down, just maintained pace. Heart rate was quite low coming into transition, and that meant I could kind of push the power on the pedals straight away. So what I've done is kind of compared my time relative to where the pros are. That gives you kind of an idea of if it's a hard swim, if it's going to take a little bit longer, or it's a really fast swim. So last year I had a look at some results. I think the fastest swimmer last year was 22 minutes. Same field, same guys, 26 minutes was the first pro time. So I was probably about 5-6 minutes behind that, which probably the fastest I've been relative to that. So actually for me it's probably one of my best swims, even though the time didn't show that. Anyway, got out of transition, straight onto the bike. I was able to push some good power for the first kind of 10-15k. is kind of what I planned to do, either kind of one of two things. So either catch a fast a group and then settle in. If I caught a group, great, I can recover, then kind of work together to get a faster bike split, or wait for some of the faster bikers to come past. So if I didn't catch a group by the kind of the 10-15k mark, I'd probably just back off it a little touch, wait for the faster bikers and work with them. So both kind of worked. One faster rider came from behind, he was quite strong, and I also caught a couple of riders in front as well, so both happened, which is ideal. So I went with them. There's a massive kind of motorway section. On the way down it's a tailwind, so nice and fast, and then coming back you've got a really horrible headwind. It's probably 20k out, 20k back, and you do that 2 times as well, so that's probably 80k of the course. And then you've got a kind of a section where you go back into town, come off a motorway, and there's around 8 or 9 like really punchy hills. So they're not like massive hills, but you really do need to keep on the gas there, and it's where usually the attacks happen. But just going back to that group dynamics, really strong riders. There's probably one rider that was a lot stronger than me. The other 2, I'd probably say a little bit less so than myself, which proved itself later on. But we got to the turnaround, I think we both did around 2 turns each. Coming back, same again, taking turns on the way back, catching a few faster swimmers and a few front groups. We're passing them. We didn't take any passengers with us, so I knew I was riding quite strong at this point. Got back into town. I think it was already at 42k an hour on the first lap, so I knew it was going to be quite fast. So on the headwind back in, we dropped one of the riders. He couldn't hang on, so there's 3 of us left, and I knew the guy in front who took the last turn, he was pretty strong. The other guy came through and did an effort. I knew it wasn't wise to probably come round him at this point, because the stronger rider was probably going to put a dig in on these hill sections, and I was just kind of preparing to absolutely bury myself to stay with him because of the average speed that we'd set in the first lap. So I'd kind of set myself a goal of just do anything to stay with him. Doesn't matter what you have to push, because coming back on that motorway section you get so much benefit from being in that pack dynamic. So bury myself I did. It probably dropped me on the first couple of hills, and I wanted to put in a massive effort coming down one of the hills and up and over the other one, to try and get back on. So for that 30-minute section coming into there and coming out, I averaged around 290 watts for half an hour. My spike went up to 700 watts, so it was really spiky and punchy up and down those hills. And it's at this point where the other rider with us, he got dropped as well. I just got onto the tail end of the stronger rider just as we got onto the motorway, so I was able to just settle in. I couldn't take any turns on the front from then on. He was way too strong for me. I think he averaged 290 for the whole bike course, where mine was around I think just under 260. Bit of a bigger rider than me, so probably pushing around the similar watts per kilo maybe. At this point I was feeling really decent, really strong. Just coming into the last turnaround where we go back into the headwind and into T2, and this is where it all went wrong. I come around the corner. It's never happened to me before. It's basically a dead turn, so you have to slow down like quite a lot, and at that point I dropped the chain, which I was gutted. It meant that I had to kind of solo time trial the way back into T2 for the last 20k, which wasn't nice at all into the headwind. But yeah, I was kind of thinking, do I put in an effort of about 2-3 minutes straight away to try and catch him? But I think it was just too close to the run for me to do that. Looking back, I probably made the right decision at the time. Probably would have got a really slow run time off the back of that. But it wasn't nice. I felt a bit flat going back into T2 for that 20k, even though I'd punched down 160 grams an hour on the bike, or just under. I probably took that less frequently and just all at once, whereas I think I probably should have took it little and often. And I knew if I had more carbs, then I'd probably experience some stomach cramping on the run, which has happened before on a lot of carbs. But yeah, really happy with the bike. One of my fastest splits, I think, came in at 2 212, 213. Whereas the guy who I lost, he came in at 211. So yeah, he probably put about a minute or two into me on the way back into transition. So the plan when I get back into T2 is to run conservatively for the first kind of 10k. That's the main goal, because you can kind of ruin your race at this point if you go out quite hard. So even though I kind of try to avoid the stomach cramps, they happen straight away on the run. We'll say straight away, maybe like 2k in, and they kind of lasted for around 3 or 4k. So I couldn't really push at this point. I was maintaining about 4:05 pace, which was okay, because I wasn't really breathing deeply, because if I was breathing deeply, that's when the stomach problems would kind of get even worse. So I was surprisingly comfortable aerobically. The legs felt okay at this point, as they probably do for most people. Yeah, but the stomach was just in bits. So I thought, right, I'm not going to take anything in except water until this kind of subsides. I knew that'd bite me at the end of the run, but there's nothing I could do. If I took carbs in now, I might have to stop, and it might last, until the back end of the run. So kind of made the decision, right, just take water in, cool myself, hydrate myself, stay at this pace, and see where I was in around 7-8k to go. And that's where I plan to up the pace and try and get under the 4 minute per k average mark. See what I had left in the tank, but probably knew that I didn't have much. I think the first carb gel I took was, I think it was around 10k into the run, and that's probably way too late. So kind of 40-50 minutes without any carbs it's not going to end great. The frustrating thing was that the heart rate was quite low for what I usually average in the run. So I think the whole of the first 10-12k I was just under 160 heart rate average. Probably could have gone a lot further aerobically, but probably a combination of the carbs and probably the surging on the bike of those hills. The same thing happened last year in New Zealand, where I had some stomach issues, and I probably averaged around a 420 pace per kilometre. So yeah, a lot of positives. So even if I am in that place of having some stomach problems, I know that I can run a lot faster than I have before. So going in the right direction to get under that 4 minutes per kilometre average when I sort those cramps out. So yeah, I'll finish the vid with a couple of things that went right, what things I could do better in the next one, hopefully to give you some learnings as well, maybe. So a few things that give me some confidence going into the next few races that I'll talk about in a second. Swimming with confidence at the moment. 6 minutes down from the first male pro. I mean, that's the fastest I've ever come out relative, even if the time doesn't do it justice. I think the tactics were bob on the bike, just to go hard that first 10 to 15k, see what stuck, and something did, and then I kind of worked well, got the speed up without exerting myself massively, except on that hill portion. So just to kind of go over what I'm going to do in the next try. Definitely in the swim, I'm going to start off really easy, get that rhythm early on. Maybe not look for some fast feet really early, because there are some really fast swimmers straight away, and the likelihood of me staying on the feet is not very good, and that's kind of, I think, when the form breaks down. So start easy, and then maybe get on some feet 300-400 meters in when you found your rhythm. The form's good, it's, nothing's breaking down, it feels quite comfortable. I think that's when you should kind of get on those feet if you can. So the carb dilemma, I'm going to take little and often, maybe only do gels, so then I can kind of keep a track of how much I take and kind of time each gel a bit better. Whereas if I put nutrition in the bottles like I did, I can't kind of separate liquid from carbs, so you're taking in a lot more. Even though it might be a bit easier on the stomach, you are taking in considerably a lot more. And then hopefully that'll allow me to cover the run and push hard in that last 10k. Feel a little bit more aerobically strained than muscularly strained, hopefully trying to get the balance right between the two. So yeah, really happy with that. It's the first one in the bank this season. Loads more coming up over the next couple of months. I mean, in a month's time, I've got an Olympic distance, which is the World Triathlon Championship, so representing GB over here in Australia. So we've got loads of things going on that week. We've got the T100 to go and have a look at, the Wollongong T100. The next day, you've got the World Triathlon Finals, so kind of Hayden Wild, Matt Hauser, Alex Yee, starting that one, so that'll be a good watch as well. And just checking out Sydney and Wollongong in general, be a good vlog to kind of get some snippets of that. So 2 weeks after that, we've got the Noosa Tri, massive bucket list race for me. It's kind of the home of triathlon in Australia. I got some family coming over, hopefully get some content from Sandra, my mum. She's coming over and providing you with some good content. So 2 Olympic distances shouldn't take as long to recover from, and I shouldn't have to taper too much into them, which then leads it into the next big race that I really want to focus on, which is more of a T100 style. It's a little bit more low key, which is Hervey Bay, Hundy it's called, obviously because we're in Australia they shorten everything, so that's a 100k distance. So yeah, 3 races quite close together in around 6 weeks, and then we're going to focus on kind of the build till next year. So yeah, as always, thanks for sticking with me till the end of the vid. All likes and subscribes are greatly appreciated, and I'll see you